Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 53 of Uchiha Naruto the Sage. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And after this I'm going to be posting what if Naruto got a new bloodline. So stay in tune and enjoy that. And on my main channel tonight I'm going to be posting what if Naruto went back in time? And also, what if Naruto went missing for 4 years? So after you're done over here, go ahead and check out my main channel, Anime King, where you can enjoy over 500 lovely what ifs. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And if this is the first time you hear my voice, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and click that red subscribe button and join the Anime King family and be a part of the channel. And thank you all for your support and help. Comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into it. So last time we left off, Naruto, Sasuke, and Yujito went back to the cloud as they dropped off Yujito. The Raikage then told them that they will have to leave tomorrow as he did not like their presence inside of the village. The only way they allowed them to stay for today is because they brought back Yujito. Jiraiya was also there, stopping Naruto from causing any problem with the Raikage. So that night, Naruto went off, as he told them that he has some business to take care of. The next day, Naruto was in the zone, as he was talking to Zetsu, as Zetsu told him about a princess who wanted to make an ally between her and the Zone village, as her village is far advanced in technology and Naruto want that in the zone. So he told Zetsu to tell her that he's behind the zone rebuilding. And yeah, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can switch across the playlist and check out all the other episodes for yourself. So let's start this new episode. We start this episode 3 days later after Zetsu and Naruto's conversation. As we start this inside of Konoha, Sasuke was sitting inside of the Uchiha compound as he tried to wrap his mind around it. His clan would still be here, his parents and his brother would still be alive if it wasn't for Konoha. But at the same time, his family was about to betray Konoha, and the village would have been played into chaos if that had happened. But what he did not understand is why Naruto would sit and do nothing to the village. Itachi was the same, as even in his death, he still wanted safe for Konoha. Itachi and Naruto were two different people, but when it came to Konoha, they both wanted to keep it safe, as he did not understand why were they like that. He was then brought out of his thoughts as the door opened, as it had to be Yujiro or Kakashi, because no one would simply walk in without knocking except for them. And it was Uzuki Yujiro. As she looked at Sasuke, "Hello Sasuke," she said with a small smile as she walked towards him. Sasuke forced a smile. Somehow, he has been finding it difficult to smile ever since he came back to the village. "Hi Yujiro," he responded politely. "Is Naruto in?" she asked as she looked around. Since she heard that the Uchihas has come from a successful mission after stopping the Akatsuki, she decided to come here to see if Naruto has arrived as well. "No, we went our separate ways after dropping Yujito off the Jinchuriki that we rescued," he said. That he had something to do before returning, Sasuke said as he saw Yujiro sad look. "Did he say when he would return?" she said in a disappointed tone. Sasuke shook his head. "No, I don't know when he will return. He seemed preoccupied with something, and after everything, I think he wants to clear his thoughts." "Okay then," she said. "Well, goodbye," as she turned around to leave, but she then stopped. "Oh, your friends are outside." "Friends?" Sasuke said, as Yujiro nodded. Sasuke stood up as Yujiro left the house, as he walked towards the door. "Well, I guess I can use a distraction," he said to himself. Back in the Mist Village, after Naruto finished up some training, he had used Zetsu to summon him in the Mist Village, as he was using his Shadow Clone to put some finishing touches on the Hashirama. Once getting inside of the village, he walked peacefully to the Mizukage Tower. He was not hiding himself or his presence from anyone. People were able to recognize him though, but when they did, he took the rooftop to avoid annoying people. The envoy of the village has also taken notice of him, but they kept their distance because they knew who he was. Although it was annoying that they kept following him, he did nothing. He didn't even look in their direction, not even once. He finally arrived at the Mizukage Tower. As he entered, he walked within the tower until he reached the receptionist. As he looked at the woman, "Is Mei in?" he asked. The woman looked at Naruto for a moment. "Mei," she said, as she then studied his features, as she then looked away, as she then turned back with a smile. "Yes, the Mizukage is in. Let me go and see if she can see you now." "There is no need for that," Naruto said, as he walked straight into the office. Inside of Mei's office, Naruto opened the door without even nodding, as he found the woman taking a nap on her desk. Her envoy must have not told her that I was coming, probably to surprise her, Naruto thought. As he leaned on the door frame and crossed his arms, "This is a lovely surprise," he said loudly enough for it to startle Mei. Mei woke up as she heard the voice. Her eyes became wide as she saw who it was. "Naruto," she said, as she studied him from head to toe, as he was wearing a new attire. Because the last part, he told Zetsu to get him some new clothes, because his old clothes was ruined. He was now wearing a dark red cloak, as it had high collars, and it reached under his knees. Under the cloak, he wore a black pants, and a black shirt like always. You could see the black shirt because the cloak was not fully zipped up. He also wore black gloves and black shinobi boots. He did not have his gunbei, or any weapon that she could see. He was also not wearing a headband. She noticed that. She then remembered that he was not even wearing it in Konoha. This new look fitted him. In front of her, her fiancé, she smiled at him as she then stood up and walked towards him without thinking anything. She engulfed him in a warm hug. Naruto didn't respond at first, but with a sigh, he wrapped his arms around her. She did not let him go, she just hugged him, with a big smile on her face. Odd, Naruto did not push her away. He felt something. Finally, Mei let him go as she pulled him in and shut the door. "Ah, Naruto, how good it is to see you again. After our last talk, I did not think that you would come here so soon." She then ushered him to sit down. "I did not think I would be coming here soon, but things changed," he said. "So I decided to drop by." As his eyes then changed from the eternal Mangeto Sharingan to the normal Sharingan and then turned back blue. "My eyes were originally blue," he said, as Mei then noticed that every time she saw him, she always saw the Sharingan. Basically, she has never seen Naruto's eyes yet. His blue eyes like this. As she was then wondering about the past tense that he used, "Were?" she asked. "Yes, but I'd rather not get into that," he said. Mei became silent for a moment. Naruto had shown her a part of him that he never showed her before, and his tone wasn't blank like usual. As Naruto was also feeling different. When he was in the afterlife, he saw nothing. It was empty like what he told Zetsu. But he didn't want his life to be empty anymore. He has not even become Hokage. He has not rebuilt back the Uchiha clan. He doesn't want his life to be empty and alone again. Mei felt her heart race a bit after blowing her off and coming back now to speak to her. And now he showed her his original eyes that you were born with. "Why don't we go to my house and talk there?" Mei said. Back at Mei's house, she has gotten rid of all of the envoys as she needed some privacy. As the both of them are currently on the couch, "Can I get you something to drink?" she asked. Naruto shook his head no. As he leaned back on the sofa, "You have done good with the rebuilding of the village. I would have not thought that you would have succeeded this much with your little resources." He commented over the state of the village. "But you're doing good," he said. As Mei smiled, "It is not easy, But when you have support behind you and the people you're working with have the same goal, it gives you determination. May then change the subject as she looked at Naruto. I am happy that you came here, Naruto, but why did you really come here? Naruto raised an eyebrow as her voice was now serious. Do I need a reason to come and see my fiancé? Isn't that what you insisted on before you left Konoha? Naruto said. Mei did not know if he was being sarcastic or not. She could not tell by the look on his face. He was the one who told her to put the marriage on hold, but now here he was, calling her his fiancé. What the hell is really going on here? Are you really Naruto? Mei said, as her question only amused him. So, you are Naruto, she paused, as she waited to see if he would say something. What changed? You treated me like crap the last time we spoke. And you're a cold-hearted bastard, she said, speaking honestly. But Naruto did not felt hurt by those words. He simply shrugged as she almost cursed him. So why did you take interest in a person like me who treated you like crap and didn't really care? I don't even return any of the affection that you give to me. I hardly even respond to emotions. I am curious. Why do you like me? Naruto said, as he looked her directly in the eyes. Mei smiled at him. I questioned myself once a while about that, but in the rarest of moments, when I saw you smile when you were not on the battlefield, I knew that deep down inside, you are a wonderful person. I can tell that not every part of your heart is filled with darkness. You have power, but you don't use it for evil intention. When you came here for the first time, I could not say this because I never really understand you. But now I know that something does draw me to you. You have problem in the past that left you with an emotional scar, and you try to suppress all that pain by showing a side of you with no emotion. But you're not cold-hearted as you think you are. But one thing, you're selfish and you look out for your own interests. You also dislike emotional attachment because you don't want to show your real emotion. But tell me, Naruto, what do you think of a man who rapes and abuses women? Mei asked. They deserve nothing but death, Naruto responded shortly. See, you know what is right and wrong. You will kill anyone that makes anyone suffer because you know what pain is and you have felt it before. What I am trying to say is, despite all of your flaws, everything, you're still a good person inside. And also the fact that you're a handsome man, she said with a wink at the last part. Naruto shook his head as he ran his hand through his hair for a few moments, as he then looked back at Mei and gave her a small smile. You have made a good analyzation of my personality and actions. That was all he could say. Well, after our last talk, I was quite infuriated and embarrassed. I sold myself to you like a street hoe, and you rejected me, and I felt so cheap. And I came back here, and I wondered to myself why I like you. And it was then I took note of your personality and all of your past actions. And it was then that I came to this conclusion, Mei said. Naruto then reached inside his cloak as he ruffled around for a few seconds, as he took out a small box and handed it to Mei. As she took it, and when she opened it, it was a ring. It's beautiful. I find it hard that you will get something like this, or even buy something like this. Where did you have time to get it? Mei asked as she looked at the diamond. A friend brought it to my attention that I needed to get you this. But honestly, I don't feel like this thing is needed. She then scooched over on the couch as she grabbed onto his hands and leaned her forehead onto his, as she started to kiss him for a few seconds, and he kissed her back. She then broke the kiss as she looked directly in his eyes. Don't reject me again, she whispered, as they started to kiss again. Later that day, it had already gotten late, and Naruto was still at Mei's house. as they were sitting around the dining table, eating. It was a meal that Mei had prepared for both of them. Mei was eating with a broad smile on her face. As Naruto was eating slowly, he didn't even look up at Mei. As she was enjoying their time, it was the first time she had cooked for him and the first time they were sitting down enjoying their meal like this. As she then broke the silence and asked a question. "When are you going to leave?" she asked. "After I finish eating," Naruto replied simply, as he didn't even look up from his food. He could feel her frown from his response, but that didn't make him look at her. He just continued eating. "Why can't you stay here for tonight?" "I would appreciate the company," she said. "I have to travel the whole night." "Wait," said Mei, "you can't find anyone with a boat at this time of night. How will you reach back to your village?" Because the only way to leave the mist was from a boat, because they were surrounded by sea, and they were a distance away from the other shinobi villages, so he could wait till tomorrow and she will arrange a boat for him. "I have already made arrangements," Naruto responded, as Mei frown even got worse. "Can't you postpone and leave tomorrow morning?" Mei asked. After all, he was just going to leave. He didn't even want to spend the entire day here. "I did not expect things to go the way they did, but even though they changed, my plan will not change," Naruto said, as she pushed away the plate after finishing his meal. "What is it that you have to do to make you leave your fiancé in the cold?" "I have to meet with the Fire Daimyo tomorrow," he said. "Fire Lord? Tomorrow? But you can't make it in time at this time. There is no boat that can get you to the Fire Country, and you still have to travel after that," Mei said as her frown disappeared, thoughting that she found a way to make him stay. But she then realized that he would still have to go to the meeting. The Fire Daimyo was an important person, and if he set up a meeting and Naruto didn't arrive, she doubted that he would get a next one. But then again, this was Uchiha Naruto. "I already have plans," he told her. "It will not take me more than a minute to reach a wave country," he responded as he stood up. "How would you do that?" Mei looked at him questionably. Unless he was the fourth Hokage, he could not do that, and she did not believe. Naruto took out a three-pronged kunai as he then gave it to her. "You know what it is. If there is anything, call me," he said as he turned around. As he started to walk to the living room, his gloves were in there. Tomorrow was going to be a hell of a day. Fire Daimyo tomorrow morning, and then he has to be at Konoha at noon. "Not to mention I will travel all night," he said to himself as Mei followed him from behind with a three-pronged kunai. "You know, when you came here, I thought you were going to stay for a few days, but I guess it can't be helped," she said with a sigh. "Well, thanks for coming here. You cleared up a few things," she said. Naruto nodded as he searched for his gloves. When he found them, he turned to Mei. "Don't call me if you're bored, because if you do, I will ignore it next time," he said, as he then disappeared in a yellow flash. Mei did not know if he was joking or serious, but he didn't seem to be joking, as she wanted to do that to call him when she was bored, for him just to flash over there. But now, if she does, he was going to ignore her the next time. The next day, at Konoha, Naruto needed rest as he has been depriving his body of it lately, as the trip to the daimyo was rather boring and he did not waste time to teleport back to Konoha, as he spent his time in the Uchiha compound. Despite not going anywhere, his presence was made aware. Tsunade sent for him as he took his sweet time getting there. When he went to the office, he did not see her, but he saw her assistant. "Where is Tsunade?" he asked, as Shizune was currently standing behind the desk, as Shizune was doing the paperwork that Tsunade was supposed to be doing. Shizune smiled nervously as she looked at Naruto. She noticed his new attire. It was less intimidating than the previous one, as he looks here with the armor, but now, not so much. Shizune knew that she couldn't lie because of his sharingan, and he could tell if she was lying. She went out to get a drink because she knew that you would take your sweet time getting here. Before Naruto could respond, Jiraiya appeared. As he looked at Naruto, she is quite upset today, so be careful of your words with her, Jiraiya said, as Naruto then noticed that the man was bandaged up right at his shoulder, but he did not bother to ask what happened. Upset is an understatement, Shizune said as she leaned on the chair. Naruto didn't care what the hell was going on, but before he could walk out, the door flew off his hinges and went straight towards his face, but he dodged it easily as he then turned around to see Tsunade fuming with a murderous look on her face. Seeing that Tsunade had not calmed down, Jiraiya spoke. "You're on your own, Naruto," he said as he disappeared out of the office. Naruto saw that Shizune also wanted to leave, but she could not as a furious Tsunade was blocking her path. As Tsunade was tired of him, in the blink of an eye she appeared in front of him and slammed her fist right into his chest, sending him into the wall. Shizune then ran out of the office. As she wasn't done, she rushed at Naruto and came up with her fist again, as Naruto activated his Mangekyou Sharingan. As he was sent flying through the wall, as he flew into a nearby building, but he activated Susanoo in time, but his cloak was a bit ruined from the first punch. He then got up as he dusted himself off, as the villagers watched him silently. "Well, that first punch hurt," Naruto said, as he then disappeared in a swirl of flames. He then appeared in the office and found her sitting down, clearly ignoring the hole in her office. He could see that she had calmed down a little. Jiraiya then returned to the office, but he stayed away from Tsunade. Naruto, as he then narrowed his eyes behind him. "Are you hurt?" Shizune asked politely, as she wanted to heal him if he was hurt, as she knew those punches did not do anyone any good. "I can help myself," Naruto said, as he took a seat, as Shizune nodded and walked away. Naruto then unzipped his coat as he tore his black shirt, as his hand started to glow green as he placed it on his chest. That surprised Jiraiya and Tsunade. "You can use medical ninjutsu?" Jiraiya asked. "It is just the basic," Naruto responded with a shrug. "Now then, Tsunade, can we get on to why you decided to use your anger on me?" he asked, as he was fully healed now and he zipped up his coat, ignoring his torn shirt. Tsunade then took a sip of her sake. "I thought you would try to defend yourself there, as if taking up actions against the Hokage was a serious crime, but this was Naruto, and they needed him for Konoha as he had the Kyuubi and the power. No, I could have dodged your first punch, but I wanted to see how it will hurt. But the second one wasn't acceptable," Naruto said. "I should have hit you harder," Tsunade said, as he would have been in the hospital with she tending towards him, as she would give him lots of medicine to make sure he wouldn't be able to move, as she would then force him to behave. Naruto ignored all of her words as he changed the topic. "You insulted the head of the Uchiha. You know what kind of crimes you have committed?" Tsunade, he asked, in a slightly serious tone that caught her off guard. But before she could say anything, he then spoke again. "Despite my question that caught you off guard, you were going to retort by saying something like I deserved it, right? You have no respect for stupid laws that will only tie you down, and that is something I want to see from you." Tsunade narrowed her eyes at his words, as she knew they could be a political fallout for assaulting a clan head. The clan heads were the second in power within the village. "What are you saying, Naruto?" As she then glared at him, the reason why she was angry. "So Naruto, are you saying that you insulted the Fire Daimyo on purpose?" As Naruto insulted the Fire Daimyo in their speech and basically called the man a useless old pipe that should just drop dead. But guys, I'm gonna be ending this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification stay posted. And remember, after this, I'm going to be doing What If Naruto Got a New Bloodline? So stay in tune and enjoy that. And also on my main channel, I'm going to be doing What If Naruto went missing for 4 years? And also What If Naruto went back in time? So stay in tune and enjoy all of the what is coming your way. But for now, guys, I'm out of here. Peace.